Whether you're on top of the world or down in the dumps, whether your trading is going great or is a buzz, one thing's by your side, always through it all, lighting up smiles around the world for all. Nothing says you care like crypto. Nothing can compare. Nothing says you care like crypto. Oh, nothing can compare to crypto.
And because women hate each other, see, that situation, by her doing that and me seeing the women rally, that opened my eyes to the wickedness of women.
So guys, men going their own way have completely won. When I say won, I don't mean they've won the battle. No. They've won the war. I'm declaring it. Men going their own way have won the war. You see, women are now beginning to wake up and realize just how evil men are treated by women in Western society. Why men are walking away from Western society. Why men are done with relationships. Why 90% of men have given up on relationships and dating in Western society. And this is sending off a lot of fearful warning signs and bells going off for women right now. Today's video comes from Mediocre Tutorials. His channel will be linked in the description so that you can go check him out and support him. Watch to the end of the video to fully understand the implications of women beginning to wake up and realize and fully understand why so many men are walking away from dating and relationships going forward. Also, don't forget to follow us on Rumble, linked in the description of the video. You never really know what will happen on this platform, so go and follow us over there. And now let's just go ahead and jump right into the video.
There it is.
That is what opened my eyes to the wickedness of women. And I said, oh.
This is what men have been saying forever.
So women do
what I said they do.
Create stuff
out of thin air
and try to destroy a person's life.
Reputation
and
destruction.
If you're seen as the stronger person,
the masculine,
women will weaponize their perceived weakness and play the victim.
How can you be doing all of this content and put it in front of women's eyes talking about that men are not as intelligent, that men are this? You created that. The content that we're going to go over here today is just a chef's kiss of content. Trust me. This video was uploaded, let's look at the analytics, 7 months ago at 484,000 views. That is insane. Title of this video, Man-Bashing Dating Guru Gets Exposed in the Worst Way. Now, this content is over an hour, so I'm just going to give you guys a brief synopsis to get you caught up. But the video was essentially this lovely young woman right here talking about the end of a relationship with this lovely young man right here. You know what? Let me be respectful, okay? This lovely young woman right here, they were in a lesbian relationship, but this one right here is a larger content creator on the platform who many of her talking points is completely like outrageous, but many of her talking points and her ideologies is somewhere around men are inferior to women. Here are the reasons why. Matriarchy would be beneficial within our society today. Yada, yada, yada. A lot of stuff. But essentially throughout her talking points, she has accumulated a platoon, an army of incredibly hurt women that love to bash men while also speaking about the victimization of womanhood and then how to get out of that victimization, which when I did this original piece of content was very interesting to me because this woman, after all of that, after whatever several month relationship, comes out and says, I was the victim, and here is the reason why. Well, after all of that, this content creator has got up on and did a podcast speaking about what had happened from her perspective and finally admits one of the major things that I've said on my platform for the last several years. And it being that, yes, there's dudes out there that ain't shit. We acknowledge those and we try to upgrade those, but don't be over here acting like women are sugar, spice, and everything nice. But what we understand is that men practice aggression a lot differently than how women practice aggression. But the difference is that there's laws, there's consequences for the way that men practice aggression, whereas with women, for reputation destruction, manipulation, innuendo, and because there's no consequences, it sets up the incentivization for a woman to try to destroy you by any means necessary. Anyway, that's enough of the introduction. Let's get into some of her comments. Without further ado,
you know, you're so knowledgeable. I just be wanting to pick your brain on stuff. But you know, we have was it Baylor TV or
you ain't got to say a name, but you messed it up and good. You messed it up.
Yeah. Quote unquote your ex.
Yeah.
You know, she threw shots at you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She basically said you groomed her into a relationship, which is the wildest shit I've ever heard. How do you groom somebody into a relationship? But anyway, and she basically threw just a lot of different accusations at you. You know what I'm saying? Basically saying you're a fraud. You know, and things like that. So what do you have to say about the quote unquote you're a fraud? Because I did start seeing people start commenting, oh, I watched this video and I don't look at her the same. I've seen people actually react to that. And again, we talked, me and you talked off camera, and we said it's never about the truth anymore. It's about who can tell the best story. And sometimes the people that can tell the best story can actually control the minds of the people,
the narrative,
which then will have the people turning on you. And you know, we're public figures, right? You're out here, you're doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? You're preaching your message, and then something like this hits you. Number one, are you okay? Like when things go public about something so intimate, you know, we wear it, you know how it goes. We wear it, but that shit does hurt. Like somebody that you actually fuck with, somebody that you actually pour time and energy into to go online and make accusations, that hurts.
So guys, this holiday season, Angry's Crypto Academy is running a Christmas promo to help you start 2025 strong. From now until December 31st, you can get 20% off annual paid subscriber plans, and the bootcamp membership is also 20% off. If you've been waiting to level up your crypto game, now's the perfect time to invest in yourself. Click the link in the description below, grab your membership, and let's make 2025 your best year yet. Merry Christmas, and I'll see you inside the Academy.
The context around the grooming is that the other woman said that it was her first lesbian experience and that this woman groomed her into starting it. I never like the talk of grooming when it comes to two consenting adults. You both can make an appropriate decision. No one is holding you by the hair and is forcing your face down into doing something. But I do think that the interviewer here brings out a fantastic point. If you do not control the story, if you do not have a good narrative, then people may not believe you. But let's see your thoughts.
It hurts. So here's the thing. See, she didn't like the fact that I'm not as emotional as her. Her whole goal was to try to hurt me however she could. So she was the type of person that I just could not mentally handle. I couldn't mentally withstand the stuff that she was putting me through. So I actually broke up with her in January.
Toxic.
Right? And so we had been broken up for 4 months, but I'm the type of person that's like, we can remain friends. We don't have to be together. It don't have to be no beef, because I ain't never done nothing to you. I ain't never done nothing but try to be a good friend to you.
Right.
But she was putting me through a lot of hell. She would always talk about being. She had these dark thoughts. She would even tell me that she would see demon faces. Like, she was really going through some mental stuff, right? And she was really causing me a lot of pain. And like, I was physically hurting me. I couldn't deal with her. And so I broke up with her in January. And fast forward 4 months later, she thought, I guess she thought it was a game, that I would not move on. Well, she found out that I moved on with someone else after 4 months. 4 months after we broke up, I finally moved on. Right. And I'm still with my current girlfriend that I moved on with. When she found out that I actually moved on, I was on a TikTok live talking about my new book that I had just created.
You see, until a lot of men experience it for themselves, they have no idea just how horrible relationships are for men, the dangers that men face in relationships, the pain and suffering men go through in relationships. Because women know that they can actively tell lies. They can make up an entire story or entire narrative. They can do these things and they'll get away with them, and there are no consequences. Because women have been conditioned to believe that there are no consequences for lying, stealing, cheating on men, it means nothing anymore. They actively know that they can get away with it. These are tools that women have always used to destroy the lives of men when they want to get back at them or punish them for any reason, just because their emotions told them so. Many women will scorch the earth around them. They will do things that will destroy their own lives in a moment of anger and fury without realizing that, bro, you're going to destroy your entire life just to get back at this man, just to punish this man. I remember seeing a video years ago where this man was, he owed child support. He had a baby mama. He owed child support, and he paid all of the child support off. Check this out. He owed something like, I don't know, like $15,000, $20,000 for the year. He paid it all off. He paid off all the child support for the year. And the woman got her child support, but, and this is what had to have happened more than likely, she got all of that money and she likely spent all of that money right away. So she spends all of the child support money, doesn't realize she spent all of the child support money, and then goes to the court and has this man arrested. Yeah, she basically put in like an order, and the judge was reviewing the case like, how did this happen? We didn't submit this. And the woman goes, I submitted it, that this man had not paid me my child support, and and I had him arrested. So this man was taken into custody. He was put into prison. He was locked up, and he lost his job. And now he has a felony against his name. Felony. And the crazy thing about it is that, the judge, when the judge is speaking to the woman, she was like, bro, why did you do this to him? He paid you all of your child support. And she goes, I thought he owed me child support. Judge is like, no, he paid you it all in advance. All right. He owed you like a year of child support. He paid you all of, guys, let me explain. The man wasn't behind on child support. He got ahead of the child support by just paying it all off like a year in advance, so he didn't have to worry about it. And the woman's response was she basically got that lump of money, likely spent every dime of it instantly, found herself with no money, and then assumed that there should have been more because there's no way she would have just gotten all of this child support right now. She probably assumed that this was back child support. So he gave her like $15,000, $20,000. She assumes that it's like back child support to be getting this lump of money. So she gets that, spends it all, and then turns around, expects another check, and there's no other check, has this man arrested, destroys his life, and he's there crying in court. And then the woman's like, she's demanding more money, and he's like, I can't find another job. And the judge is like, why did you do this, miss? And now the woman is like, well, can't you just remove the felony from his account, from his name? And the judge is like, it's very hard to get rid of those things once you have that against you. And the woman is just standing there like in shock, like she just destroyed this man's life. Let me ask you something. When the banks collapse, and trust me, it's coming, will you be ready? Imagine waking up to ATMs that don't work, bank doors chained shut, and millions of people left with nothing. No cash, no access to their savings, and no way to survive. But it doesn't have to be that way for you. That's why I created Angry's Crypto Academy, to teach you everything you need to know about crypto so you can protect yourself and your family. You'll learn how to buy, sell, and even day trade crypto for a living. Plus, we alert you to new crypto trends so you can profit before everyone else even knows what's happening. Right now, I've just published an exclusive investment guide inside the Academy, and it's linked in the description below. In it, I reveal the one coin that could make you a millionaire. A coin so revolutionary, it could change everything. If you missed out on Bitcoin and Ethereum, this is your second chance. This isn't just about financial freedom. It's about survival. When the system collapses and everyone else is selling, you'll be the one buying, prepared to weather the storm and thrive while others struggle to survive. Don't wait. This knowledge isn't optional, it's critical. The link's in the description. Go check it out now.
She came in the comment section and she started doing some hoorah stuff. And she, in the comment section, because I was telling the people, I said, y'all might hear that I date women or whatever. You just got to understand, I ain't trying to get with you. I got somebody, I'm cool. And she come in the comment section and she say, yeah, she dating somebody in her book club. So I turn around, I see that, and I'm like, yeah, I'm dating somebody in my book club. My moderator saw her and immediately blocked her because she started crapping the comment section. She calls me while I'm on live and starts screaming and hollering at me. Why you block me? I'm like, my hand ain't even on the camera. I didn't block you. Yes, you did, screaming. And I mean, she's screaming at the top of her lungs. Why would you tell them that you moved on? Why would you tell them? Because, you know why? Because she was a struggling content creator. And so she had had a breakup with her baby daddy. Now, so she got two different baby daddies, and she ain't with neither one of them, right? And so she broke up online with her second baby daddy. So
that wasn't a red flag for you?
Huh?
Right.
No.
Okay. This
Right.
is before.
No, this.
Shout out to the interviewer for calling that out. It's funny to me how these fake dating gurus will tell you everything that you need to know in order to fix your life, but then you look within the intricacies of their own life and you're like, well, but you ain't conducting your shit correctly. So how can you coach me? She got two different baby daddies, don't want to be with her. She tells you that she's in self-deletion mode. She tells you that she sees demon faces and you are still interacting with her. And not only that, but you're reaching down into your subscribers, this one being in your book club, to have more relationships with those that follow you. That's why in the last video, I believe I call her something like Princella the Stud Maker instead of Queen Maker. But let's get into the most important part of this conversation.
So this is what she's doing.
Gotcha.
Right. So because she broke up online, she tells me this, and she sent it to me in a text message. I don't want to look like a fool. I already broke up and had a terrible breakup online. I don't want to look like a fool. So what she was trying to do is make me look bad, right?
Reputation
By
destruction.
trying to make it seem like I was, because she didn't want to now have two baby daddies and then be broken up with a woman.
Right.
She didn't want the public to see that a woman had broke up with her. So what she was trying to do is beat somebody to the punch. And I'm like, I done left you alone. I even sent her to her job. I sent her like a bouquet of fruit to say that we don't have to be enemies or nothing. We can be friends. Man, they flipped that to be negative. She's narcissistic and gaslighting. Why would you send her fruit to her job? And so she told me one time, like when I had broke up with her, I had broke up with her one time before, and then I messed around and we had got back together. But during this little period of time where I had broke up with her, I was on live and doing things, and she gonna tell me, you know, I felt some kind of way because I'm over here hurting and I'm over here crying and you just online smiling like ain't nothing wrong with you. So she didn't like the fact that she couldn't get to me emotionally. So her way of thinking that she was gonna hurt me was to bring my child and smear my child all over the internet to say that I'm abusive. And she did it just because she wanted a response out of me.
Crazy.
And so she have them calling CPS and bringing CPS to my house on a totally fabricated lie.
Person who's watching this video right now, whether or not you want to believe her story or the other chick's story, it's completely up to you. But what I would say to her is that the reason that a large majority of your audience, the reason why they fed into her bullshit is because you created the monster that you had to slay. You've oriented their mindsets to never have empathy for men. So they view you as the man in the relationship, and they hear about all these things that you're doing, and then they turn on you. That's you that did that. You created that audience. It was unbeknownst to you that you think as a woman that dresses like a dude, that they're still going to be treating you like a woman. No, they're going to be treating you like a guy. Therefore, they're going to have unrealistic guy expectations for you. Bump the logic within a situation. If her needs are not being met by the masculine, then the masculine is wrong.
All because you're mad that I broke up with you and moved on with somebody else, and that I wasn't crying and showing signs of emotional instability. That's what all of that was about. And because women hate each other, see, that situation, by her doing that and me seeing the women rally, that opened my eyes to the wickedness of women.
There it is.
That is what opened my eyes to the wickedness of women. And I said, oh.
This is what men have been saying forever.
So women do.
What I said they do.
Create stuff.
Out of thin air.
And try to destroy a person's life.
Reputation
and
destruction.
If you are seen as the stronger person,
the masculine,
women will weaponize their perceived weakness and play the victim.
As men, guys, you are damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. There's nothing you can do to win when it comes to dating and relationships or anything with women. Even when you give them what they want, they will still destroy you. It is impossible to win. And that's why 90% of men are no longer dating, no longer having relationships. And then I see the simps in the comments who are like, show me the statistics, show me the statistics. Guys, these are that's why a lot of y'all say don't even refer to simps as people, because they're not people. Because as soon as you show them the statistics, they're like, and I was playing a video where women were crying that men are no longer dating. Gen Z girls are crying. Millennial women are crying. Gen X women are crying. Men aren't dating them anymore. But especially with Gen Z women they can't find dates. They can't find boyfriends. They can find, scumbags. They can find, Chad, Tyrone, Ray, Pookie, Enrique, Miguel, Pancho. They love little Pancho, but these are not marriageable men. These are men that you just have a good time with. These are not men that are going to be there for them. These are not men that they can depend on. All right? This is how women operate. So, they basically have these guys, Chad and Tyrone and Pancho, to blow the back out. But when they want a guy that's going to be there for them when they are miserable, when they are alone and all that other garbage, they want a marriageable man, and they can no longer find marriageable men. So while they can find a multitude of men that will hook up with them, they cannot find a multitude of men that are willing to be in a relationship with them. And now it's beginning to fall apart. And of course, the simps immediately jump in and they're like, show me the statistics, show me the statistics. Because simps, women didn't realize simps were not their friends. Simps are opportunists with an agenda. A lot of you idiots are in the comments saying that, oh, simps are men too, and they didn't know any better, so they can't be held accountable because they couldn't control themselves. If you're a man and you can't control yourself, of course you're going to be held accountable for the things you're doing. They didn't know any better. They didn't know any better. I've literally had simps in my comments saying that they've stopped simping, but they're not going to repent for their simping because they didn't know any better. Guys, if you think you've missed the boat on Bitcoin, think again. The crypto world is exploding with new opportunities. And while Bitcoin has already made its millionaires, there's still a chance for you to get in early on the next big wave. I've put together an exclusive guide on 4 altcoins that could change the game and change your financial future. These aren't just hype coins. These are real projects with groundbreaking technology and massive upside potential. This is your chance to get in before they hit the mainstream. But listen, crypto isn't just about getting rich, it's about freedom. Freedom from traditional banks, freedom from government-controlled money, and freedom to take back control of your life. That's why I created Angry's Crypto Academy. When you join the academy, you'll learn everything you need to know about cryptocurrency, how to buy, sell, and trade the right way, how to spot the coins that can truly take off, and how to use crypto to achieve real economic freedom. And here's the best part. When you subscribe, you'll get a free copy of my crypto blueprint. This is packed with valuable tips and strategies to help you get started, and it's yours just for joining. The link is in the description below. Don't wait around and miss another opportunity like Bitcoin. Those who act now will be the ones who win big. So if you're ready to take back control of your finances and start your journey to freedom, join Angry's Crypto Academy today. Let's make it happen. You didn't know any better. It's like, guys, can you imagine, guys? Like all of these idiots, for example, you have a thug. We see it all the time. I saw a video this morning before starting to work on this video. Some thug had Control Alt deleted this poor woman. She was like 32 years old. And they're going on about he got life in prison with the possibility of parole. And they're saying things like, well, he came from a bad neighborhood and he had a hard life. Why did he delete this woman? To impress a freaking gang. Now, of course, that goes back to the necessity of why kids need fathers, because they go looking to gangs for the love that they're not getting from a father. But regardless of that, saying that he deleted this lady, this 32-year-old woman, all right, because thank God, that could have been my son. I'm 41 years old. That piece of garbage could have been my son. That could have been my son. That piece of trash could have been my son. Thank God I never had kids. Thank God, thank you, God. Never had Z's and never had A's. All right? I don't want any of them. I don't want to have any of those people around me. Don't want any of them around me. He deleted someone, and now they're crying for him, oh, he came from a hard life. Bro, a lot of people came from hard lives, and they weren't out there doing things like this. You deleted someone just because you were trying to impress a gang. You were dirty. You were scum of the earth. You're not a good person. You're a really, really bad person, little bro. You belong in prison and hell, little bro. If it was up to me, I'd be sending you to hell, little bro. I don't like you, little bro. You are so low on the totem pole, little bro. You need to be with Johnny Somali, all right, in hell, little bro. Guys, I can't stand these people. Oh my gosh. You guys have to see some of the emails I get from my Yumi's husband sometimes when he gets pissed off about these pieces of, oh my goodness. Telling y'all, I get here. It just gets me so heated. It gets me so heated. These scumbags are out here and they're doing these terrible things, and then they try to act like, oh, well, I had a hard life. You are a piece of garbage, bro. You're a piece of like you are just a horrible person committing acts of like crimes like this, and then like acting like, well, I had a hard life. A lot of people had a hard life. You good for nothing little jerk. So guys, I've created a brand new space called Angry Guys Arcade, and it's where gamers and freedom seekers come to level up. Free members get gaming news, sneak peeks, and polls. Paid and premium members get exclusive posts, game deals, early access, and even direct tips from me, Angry Guy. Don't wait. Opportunities like this don't stick around forever. Click the link in the description and join Angry Guys Arcade now before you're left behind.
They throw rocks and hide their hand, and that because I had never done that. So I didn't realize that women ain't like me.
There it is.
I didn't realize that women were not like. Now
How could you not realize? How could you be doing all of this content and put it in front of women's eyes, talking about that men are not as intelligent, that men are this? You created that. Your inability, at least at that point, to understand the destructive nature of the irrationality of many women today deems you unfit to coach women. Flat out. And the reason for that is because you're missing a key component to make themselves a worthy option for a man. But see, at the end of the day, that's not your goal. Because as being a stud maker, why would you want the women to date men? You want the women to date you. But in regards to her comments regarding the wickedness of women, not all, but we've all as men seen some shit. But in regards to it, Jordan Peterson actually has spoken about it before.
Well, I'm sure that you've met women in your life that acted towards you in a bullying and detestable manner. It's very difficult for women to cope with that because they don't have any real recourse. And female bullying can be unbelievably vicious. And usually that takes the shape of reputation destruction, innuendo, and gossip. It's well documented. It's very difficult to defend. No, men do it too, but men, no. But
sorry, disproportionately women, in any view or not, sorry.
Yes, disproportionately women. That's what the data indicate. I mean, if
men
are...
Where is the data on innuendo and gossip?
Well, it's among antisocial behavior among adolescents. It's a well-documented field. So because people look at aggressive and antisocial behavior in women and in men. And in women, it tends to take the expression of innuendo, gossip, and reputation destruction. And in men, it tends to take the form of outright physical aggression. There's a whole literature on that. It's not a surprise to anyone. This has been known for 30 years. Look, women have to express aggression somehow unless you're willing to say that they're not aggressive. They tend not to do it physically, not to the degree men do, so they use other channels. And what other channels are there other than physical aggression if you're going to be aggressive? You go after them with innuendo and gossip and reputation destruction. And that's how it works.
And just to be clear, you think that's predominantly a female modus operandi?
It isn't that I think that.
Well,
it's that the clinical literature indicates that. It isn't that I think it.
Well, I'm not interviewing the clinical literature, I'm interviewing you. What do you think?
Well, I'm a psychologist and a scientist, and I tend to base my opinions on what I've read in the broad, relevant clinical literature. I'm not making this stuff up. I studied antisocial behavior for like 15 years. I'm actually quite an expert on it.
It would serve women better when they can understand not only their own nature, but the nature of other women around them, so they can ensure that they're not getting in an echo chamber long enough to reach their end goal. Let's continue.
Experienced a lot of the same things that women was experiencing at the hands of men.
Right. But you've never been on the other side.
But I've never been on the other side because I wasn't doing to men what these women be doing.
Right. So just to pause real quick, right? So when men in the past were telling you about something, because I've watched great dads. Mm-hmm. I've watched women get online and say that they weren't great dads and seen people rally behind it, and it's like a total lie. I've seen a lot of wild things that have happened, right? Yeah. I've seen people get stabbed, shot behind a woman and you know, like all kind of different shit. So when you are on the other side,
the brick face situation, lies
out of it, did that then start making you change your philosophy or updating it a little bit?
I still didn't change my philosophy because the philosophy is the same. But what I realized is that I already knew women had issues and that they needed to be helped. But I realized how deep the problem really is. I realized, like, let's say this is where women need to go. And this is the absolute bottom that a woman can be at. I thought that women might have been right here. I thought they might have been right here and they just needed some help to get here. But after that, I realized that women down here, instead of me thinking they were here, needing to go here, I see that they're here instead, that they're worse than what I had originally thought.
Yeah. So in other words, let's say you go into the doctor's office and you have a broken bone, but the doctor looks at your broken bone and assesses it to be a cut. And therefore, the solution to the cut, which is actually a broken bone, is to put a Band-Aid on it. Putting a Band-Aid on a broken bone will never fix the broken bone. In order to create the burning platform for change, you have to understand it at a granular level. Because if you don't, then you may prescribe the incorrect medication.
Right, because I feel like if a man's ugly, he says to himself, well, I got to get money.
Yeah.
Or if a man lacks in something, he knows, it's like he's very self-aware where he has to improve.
There is no healing the relationship between men and women in Western society. Are there good women in Western society? Are there good women in the United States? Of course there are. But it's just like many of you guys have said, for every one good woman in Western society, there are 10 good men chasing her, which is why so many guys are going overseas to find relationships with women overseas. But those are the men that are still willing to even travel and to go out of the country. A lot of men aren't willing to do that. A lot of men have found a solution where they don't actually want to be in a relationship. They don't want to date. They don't want to marry. They don't want to interact. They want to stay inside of their homes and chill. They find pleasure just being alone. The honest to goodness truth is if they take away video games from men, which is what they're really pushing for, men will find something else because men are creatives. We'll create new spaces. Someone pointed out, well, yeah, we'll read a book. And if we can't read books, we'll start writing our own. Men will create their own entertainment. That's another thing that we can do as men. We will begin to create our own entertainment. But the thing is that this is increasingly becoming a prison society for men, where every form of media has been taken over and has been destroyed. I mean, television, movies franchises that were once focused around male-based entertainment, they've been destroyed. Things like Mad Max, everything, hell, Power Rangers, everything is destroyed. Everything is ruined. That was created for men. But men will create new spaces. And one of the spaces that's really cool is cryptocurrency. It's increasingly difficult for women to infiltrate crypto because of the way crypto works, because of the decentralized nature of crypto. And that's something that men will, guys, if they keep on, one thing a lot of guys will just start doing is just sit around all day long, day trading cryptocurrency, buying NFTs like crypto kitties and so forth, and having, and trading those around and playing games, card-based games using those, and basically it'll involve math where you have to do calculations. Oh, you have to calculate the amount of gas that's going to be necessary to do this. And that's basically a place where women will not be able to go. Because if it costs money to play the game, women aren't going to want to play. A lot of women are not going to want to do this. They're going to have to spend real world money for something like crypto kitties to go and, trade around NFTs and all of this stuff. We'll create brand new spaces. That's why I keep telling you guys to get focused and be really focused on crypto, because that is a space that's very hard for women to infiltrate because of the learning curve. Will it get easier to purchase crypto? Of course it will. But in terms of what so many different varieties of coins out there and, different chains and all of this and, wrapped Bitcoin and all this stuff, they won't understand all of this stuff. It's too complex. We literally have to sit around and read and study and learn all of this stuff and then learn. And then when it comes to day trading, we have to learn about the curves and the patterns and all that other stuff. And it's dangerous. You could lose your shirt. But men are designed for risk, for taking risk. Women are not, which is why men are going to increasingly become very wealthy even as things get worse, even as the economy gets worse, even as people are losing their shirts on Wall Street. Men are going to be thriving because they're not getting married, not having children, and the average man can live happily in a shoebox at the side of the road. The average woman cannot. So men are increasingly comfortable with what's going on because they're walking away from society and they're no longer contributing what they used to. Men pay 80% of all taxes. Women make 80% of all consumer purchases. But, with over 30 million men no longer actively working on a regular basis, so in many cases only working just enough to survive and thrive, and no more than that, it is becoming increasingly hard for women going forward. It's the truth. It's honestly the truth, and they don't understand everything they've lost. And what you're seeing women crying on social media that men are no longer speaking to them. There's nothing they can do about this. I'm telling you. So guys, I've created a brand new space called Angry Guys Arcade. And it's where gamers and freedom seekers come to level up. Free members get gaming news, sneak peeks, and polls. Paid and premium members get exclusive posts, game deals, early access, and even direct tips from me, Angry Guy. Don't wait. Opportunities like this don't stick around forever. Click the link in the description and join Angry Guys Arcade now before you're left behind. I'm telling you right now, women made this decision, and now they're going to basically have to deal with the consequences. And if there's one thing that women don't like, it's consequences. And they're going to try to cry over it. They're going to play the victim over it. Keep in mind, come 2030, roughly half of all women in just the United States alone will be childless and single. Single men in China right now are also, by majority, walking away. Like MGTOW has taken over China, and basically these men are like they've pretty much given up, and they're happy to live by themselves. Some of these men are just living off the interest from their savings, and they don't care about life anymore. They're just gonna live as best as they can, and then when it comes to an end, it comes to an end. Men who've given up who no longer believe in the state, no longer believe in its mission, no longer believe in these countries. It's like, what are you going to do? You have to keep the men within your country happy. Men in their own country, especially white males today in Western society, have been disenfranchised by society while being told that they're privileged. Any idiot going around saying that he's privileged because he's white is a simp. I'm just being very honest with you. That's a simp. That is a 100% simp that is pushing this disgusting narrative that has resulted in so many men being disenfranchised based on the color of their skin. Women are not going to be able to undo any of this. It will take 100, if not hundreds of years for the effects of women's liberation to really see significant change. Basically, all the people that are around today won't even be around then. And a lot of things will have to have happened. Women will have to have gone through many changes and many hardships for them to finally come to the understanding that, yes, you do need men. And without men, there's nothing. Men are the gatekeepers to everything. Men are the gatekeepers to prosperity. Men are the gatekeepers to physical intimacy. Men are the gatekeepers to prosperity. Men are the gatekeepers to society. And once women understand this, that's when we could potentially see real change. But for now, don't expect anything to come from this, because women are going to continue gaslighting till the very end and saying that they're victims while men are villains. And men don't care, because men are realizing, when no wife, happy life. Let me know what you guys think. If you agree that men going their own way have completely won. They have not won the battle. They have won the war. Well, are there more battles? Sure, but these men don't care. They don't care. They've walked away. MWA, men going their own way are also MWAs, but not all MWAs are men going their own way. Some MWAs become passport kings. Some MWAs choose from their best options, so they find a decent person in Western society. But then you have the MGTOWs who are also MWAs, and their solution is, yeah, I'm just going to opt out and completely. No dating, no relationships, no marriage. I'm going to focus on myself, my own happiness, and I'm going to separate myself socially, financially, and economically from the state and relationships, and that's it. And it's a finite solution for these men. So they've completely won. Most men today, 90% of men today, are not simply walking away, they are going their own way. They have no interest in dating, relationships, or even physical intimacy. MGTOW went much. It's just like how the original feminist could never have imagined how well, feminism would have worked, women's liberation would have worked. The OG MGTOWs, myself, because I'm one of the very OGs, I helped to create the MGTOW community. We never imagined it would have worked this well. Where now you have a lot of men who are opting out of physical intimacy, and you have Gen Z women who are saying that these men no longer want to be physically intimate with them. If women cannot control men using physical intimacy, then they're pretty much up the creek without a paddle. Soraya, for example, said that women in Western society cannot compete with foreign women. And it's not because of physical intimacy. It's because foreign women can clean, cook, and they know how to take care of a man. They know how to build trust with a man. Women in Western society cannot do this, and then they don't understand why they cannot get a man. Why men have not just walked away, but are going their own way and will never return. Because these men who are going their own way, they're done. That's their alternative. MWA is men walking away, or men with alternatives or options, and that's their alternative. That's the alternative that they're choosing. That's the options they're choosing. To be done with it forever. Let me know what you think. We'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away. And cheers.
Nothing says you care like crypto. Nothing can compare. Nothing says you care like crypto. Oh, nothing can compare to crypto.